Hi everyone, this is Hilde Larsen again from Norway. Beautiful nature as always. Sun's coming up. This is morning here. I wanted to drop by to talk to you about a topic that is very dear to me because I've experienced it so closely myself. But not only that, I see a lot of you struggling, and it's the healing crisis, detoxification symptoms, the 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄 effect, retracing, what is the difference, what is happening within the body, why is it a good thing that is happening, and also some tips and tricks and how you can, manage to go through it easier. But the thing remains, the beginning, always, health. And why? Not why the health, that's obvious. We all want to be healthy, right? We all want to feel our best. We all want to feel that we can do whatever we please to do, if it's climbing a mountain like I like to do, or if it's simply, taking care of your loved ones, going to work, what you're passionate about. And if your health is not there, then that is not gonna, be the optimal life for you. So, about the healing crisis. And why is it happening? And why is detoxification so important? Well, the thing is this. We are sick and tired and in a lot of despair just because our body is obstructed. Okay? So at any time that the obstruction of flow is present, we have stagnation. And stagnation equals pain, sickness, and I would almost say depression, because it's natural to flow in not only a way of, the experience, but the learning. It's all about expansion. Okay, so back to the body. When you think about the body as having a lot of waste that needs to come out, like just from everyday movement, you have so much lymph in your body. You actually have 3 times more than blood. And the lymph system is the sewer system. The blood is the kitchen. It takes all the nutrients, all the oxygen, every compound to every cell. Now, the lymph system, being the sewer system, takes everything out. So once that becomes stagnant, then you're hurting. Once the lymph system is not moving, your cell is burning in waste, acidic waste. And it can be from just you living, just from breathing, regular metabolic waste. But everything that we're breathing, that we're eating, that we're thinking, we're creating so much extra waste. Everything we're spraying our produce with, eating that dairy and meat, all the cooked food, everything that the body can't even recognize as food, everything that has come from a box or has a label on it, creates waste. Okay, so on top of then inviting in the parasites, and you can watch the videos that I made on parasites and on health in general, but this being about the healing crisis, you see, when you have all this within you that creates an inviting environment for the parasites and the fungus and everything else that's creating your symptoms, then once you realize that you have to carry that out, and once you allow the body to carry that out through detoxification, which simply means stepping out of what you're doing that's hurting yourself, allowing your body to do what it does best, what it actually does every day, 24 hours a day, if you let it, is detoxify. It will always detoxify. It will always take out the waste, if it can, if you let it. Now, the thing is, if your eliminative organs are not working properly, are not up to par, strong, clean, and ready and willing, they're always willing, but if they're not ready, if you haven't taken care of them, if they're not strong, they're not going to be able to take on that extra burden or work that it is to carry out all that waste. Every parasite, every fungus, when they die, they excrete a lot of toxins, and they're not dying willingly. So everything that is, that is dying within your body has to be taken out. Every dead cell also has to be taken out. Every impaired cell, destructed cell, everything that's degenerated has to be carried out. And if your body's not up to that, then you're going to feel it big time. So the main eliminative organs are the liver, the kidneys, the skin, and the lungs. So even through breathing, we are eliminating. Through the skin, you'll notice if your kidneys are not filtering, and look up kidney filtration. And if you haven't already, you could join my membership site, Inspired Members, and learn about things like that, and join our challenges so that you know what you need to do to let your body properly detoxify. Your liver is metabolizing a lot of different toxins. And your kidneys are filtering out the lymphatic waste. Your bowels, I didn't mention the bowels, your bowels is probably the one that we know the most about when it comes to eliminating. You can smell what it's eliminating, And we go to the bathroom, or we should, many times a day, we know that that's shit coming out, right? So that's something that doesn't, it doesn't take much from us to realize that our bowels need to be moving for us to get the waste out. If we get constipated, we hurt big time. But the thing is, if your kidneys are not filtering, you're hurting big time too. You're not noticing it in the same way. And if your liver's clogged up, you're also hurting. If your lungs are clogged up, you're also hurting. If your skin is clogged up, you're hurting, because it's supposed to be sweating. It's supposed to be eliminating. And if your kidneys are not filtering, it's going to try to eliminate more lymphatic waste, which will show up like pimples, boils, rashes. Okay. I love the sun, but when I'm talking to you, it's like, ooh, okay. So this is why it's so important to have the eliminative organs open and ready. And most people don't. See, that's why. Because we are so impaired through our glands in all of these organs. So a lot of what we're feeling pain from are these same organs being weak to begin with. So a lot of the symptoms that you are experiencing, they come from kidneys not filtrating. They come from constipation and liver constipation. So this is why you're feeling sick to begin with. Now, can you imagine when you're trying to detoxify to get healthy and these organs are not up to par? You're going to feel symptoms of waste trying to come out. And this is where I differentiate, okay? If you look at what they call the 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄 effect, which is from the German Mr. 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄, he was a German guy that came up with this term, or it was named after him. This is when you have a die-off, when something is actually dying within you, when you have a parasite, a fungus, or a bacteria, some kind of creature or critter that is dying. They excrete these toxins that I talked about, and that is called a 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄 reaction. This is what a lot of Lyme's sufferers, a lot of people with very infested with parasites and different microorganisms, they experience. And that is a very specific set of symptoms which often lead to fever, is one of them. Nausea, bloating is another one. Now, the 𝐅𝐑𝐄𝐄 often goes together with what we call a healing crisis, which is more of a regular detoxifying cycle of symptoms. Now, this has to do with waste wanting to come out and hopefully coming out. So what you're going to experience then is a lot of mucus coming out in any way that it can. So it could be from your nostrils, it could be from your ears, it could be from your throat or lungs, it could be from your colon. You'll see all sorts of things coming out, from hardened mucus, long-standing mucoid plaque, which is black, from the intestines, or it could be lighter mucus, it could be a little blood even. It's got trying to come out whichever way it can. And the same thing with the skin. So you can have pimples and boils trying to come out that way. You can have cough, you can have fever, because the body will naturally raise the temperature so that you will you will kill more of the critters. They don't like heat. So this is the body's way to regulate. So every time you have a fever, that's the healing reaction. It's not a crisis, it's a reaction, or it's a process that the body does very willingly to help us, kill what needs to be carried out. So when you understand that the healing crisis is a set of symptoms that comes from your body trying to not only eliminate, but also kill, in the sense that it needs to carry out whatever is not there for you. Because a true healing crisis will not happen before you go into a detoxifying mode, or you go right on to killing something. Even if someone would go to take antibiotics, would they ever? Which I hope not. I can say that. Even though I'm not a doctor and I'm never going to talk about medications, but I think we know that about antibiotics. So that is also going to create a 𝐂𝐲𝐷 reaction, okay? You got this? Because it is literally killing off. And that's just a die off. But to get into a detoxification mode, you need to stop everything that you're doing that is taking up the body's ability to use energy on doing that. Because the body is, first of all, going to try to help you survive. That's all that it wants to do, is survive, live, and then thrive. So once you stop what's killing it, it will start detoxifying, just so that it could start rebuilding and regenerating after that. Okay? Now, before I go into retracing, let's talk about the detoxification symptoms, or the healing crisis symptoms. Healing event is such a better word, but I just use the crisis because it's so common. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. But it really is just healing event. There's no crisis. There never was a crisis. So the word isn't that good, but okay, let's use it. Or not. Healing event. Or healing celebration. Okay, so I've gone through all of these personally for a very long time, and I would never mention anything if I hadn't felt it. So this is not something that I just read in the book. This is me walking through all of this. So what you can feel is anything from a heart not beating regularly. Now, okay, first of all, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. And whenever you have symptoms that makes you feel uncomfortable, or if you're not sure what you're doing, or if you're not working with a practitioner that can guide you properly, then you choose what you want to do about it. You see your facilitator, whoever you choose to consult with regarding your health, if you're not ready to take upon yourself, and if you're not educated enough to take it upon yourself, okay? That being said, you can experience almost anything under the sun. I experienced everything from a heart not beating regularly. And I found that came from, number one, parasites, number two, my colon, especially the transverse colon. It has a direct line to the heart area. So the colon having something to do with that. Now, as we also know, the thyroid is controlling the heartbeat, how fast it beats, and the adrenals being the one gland that fires up the energy for the heartbeat. We know that so many things are involved in our hearts, beating. So everything from heart not beating regularly, feeling like it's skipping a beat, feeling tightness in the chest, around your lungs, your muscles. You can feel anything going on in your digestion, from bloating, diarrhea, constipation, acid reflux, nausea big time, general pain, and general body pain is very typical. And why? Because all the acids that wants to come out, they're drawn to the surface, and they can often get stuck in the tissue, on its way out, especially if the lymph is not moving. Can you see that? It gets stuck. So this is not the type of lymph moving or not like you generate from exercise. I'm not talking about that movement. I'm not talking about walking or getting a massage as far as moving the lymph when it comes to detoxification. Yes, that is good too. And yes, the lymph needs to be moved, to at all, function, because it doesn't have a pump like the heart. We need to move. We're movers. But the thing is, when I talk about stagnant lump, it's on the inside. It is how hardened it is. It is supposed to get stuck in your lymph nodes. It needs to be dissolved from the inside. It is not about trying to move it around. It can actually make it worse. If a person is really constipated lymphatic wise, just getting a massage can make that person feel so much worse, because you're just trying to recirculate what is not moving. And then on top of that, the eliminative organs might not be working at all, and the kidneys are not filtering, so the waste is not coming out. It's simply just moving around more, creating more pain, and that is not what we want. Okay, so still, it's like an oxymoron, this. Okay, so you can say, and I thought about that. Okay, so I shouldn't move the lymph too much until all of my eliminative organs were functioning right. So until my kidneys are filtering and my liver is fantastic and my colon is fantastic and everything is good, then it's hard to move that shit out, right? Well, the thing is, if everything was working perfectly already, there wouldn't be much to move out because the body would have handled it. So the thing is, we have to just tweak it and do it a little bit at a time and just celebrate when everything wants to come out, because it's been stagnant for so long, and the longer it's been sitting there, the more resistant it is, of course, and the deeper in the body is stored and the more hardened it is. It's harder to get out. It's going to take a while of digging. So you can experience everything that you can imagine of symptoms in your bowels because it wants to come. You can, same thing about the liver. You can feel liver pressure, you can feel liver pain. This is why I've been doing a liver flush in my group, also in my membership group. Very important to have these tools handy so that you can go through a responsible detoxification process. Because detoxifying, even though the body does it naturally and it's easy per se in the way that you proceed, it can be hard because we're all so different and we all have so much waste that we're carrying. So that just being guided properly can be, a complete game changer. Just having someone that's been through it, go through it with you properly. And this is why I see with my clients, we need to tweak this almost every week. And I need, to teach, most of all, the reasons behind so that you and each and one of you can know what's coming up, because it's the fear that makes us stop and withdraw from this whole process. It's the fear of the symptoms. Like, what does it mean? What is going on? Why is my stomach hurting? Why do I have a headache? Why am I full of pimples? I'm itching all over. Hilde, I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse. I'm getting inflamed. Everything that happens when the body starts to release acids can be scary, especially in a body where there are so many weaknesses that every little thing is going to be felt very, very strongly. And we all want to feel healthier. That's why we're, where we're at. That's why we're coming to me. That's why you're watching this video, right? Because you want to get healthy. You don't want to get, worse. And when you get extra symptoms on top of what you're already feeling, I can understand, the fear, and especially if you don't know what this is about. So from experiencing everything in your stomach, you can experience everything through your skin. Everything that has to do with your eliminative organs. Pimples, boils, rashes, swellings even. The body buffers the acids when they're trying to get released in different ways. It creates cholesterol, it creates edema, water to dissolve, inflammation. So inflammation is actually a sign of healing. It's what the body does to protect and to create new and to take out waste. It takes the energy to that special place. And we're so afraid of these mechanisms, like we are the fever. Now, if your fever gets really high, you cool down. And if it gets, past or what's safe for you, then you step back. But the fever is always the healing. So from getting everything skin related, and yes, dandruff. You can even get open sores or cracks in your skin. Mucus coming out, snot, coughing, like I said, nauseous, throwing up. You can feel faint. Things are moving in your head. You get all the emotional detox. And I urge you to see the detoxification video that I made that goes to the emotional side, because it's huge. everything you ever lived, every emotion you ever felt, everything is stored within our cells. So it's all getting stirred up to be released. And you're releasing all these fatty cells and all the damaged cells, and everything is connected to a feeling. Everything has emotional connection. And I believe that most of it comes, has an origin in the emotional even, in the emotional world. So it goes together. Embrace it, even though it can be scary, but go slowly. And that is the healing crisis, healing event. The 2 or 3 days that you spend in bed feeling like you have the flu, and all you've been doing is eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Did you make yourself sick? Heck no. You're making yourself well. Your body is carrying out the waste. The cold and flu symptoms are something to celebrate because it's actually the body ridding itself of something. Okay? So that is the healing crisis. I've had hives so bad I couldn't sit on my butt. Most of my hair fell off. I even had a nail fall off on one of my toes. So many weak cells. I've had swellings like my whole hand, feet swell up. Inflammation like crazy. Parasites come out. And I have a different video on parasites. Yes. And a blog post. Yes. Fun stuff. Educate yourself on the parasites. They're huge. Literally. So, that's the healing event. And something to take seriously. Because at the same time you're doing this, it's very advisable that you strengthen your eliminative organs. This makes sense, right? In the way I've been speaking right now. You need to take that seriously. Because if your colon is not open, if you're not going to the bathroom, if the shit is not hitting that toilet, it's staying within you. So you don't want to go on any killing spree, and you don't want to go on any protocol that's making you eliminate more than you're able to carry out. Okay, now to the last point of this video before it gets too long, and that is the retracing. Now the word says it all, really, but everything that you've experienced when your body, in your physical, when it comes to illnesses or injuries, even straining a muscle, could be surgeries that you've been through. Everything that's not fully healed, the body will come right back at this point where you're doing all this, because healing is healing to the body. Remember, it can't discriminate, and it won't. It will only do what is most important for it first. It will do it in that sequence to save you. So it doesn't matter if you want to lose pounds when the body says that it's your liver that's most important. We'll get back to the pounds. Or we'll get back to your pimples, wrinkles, your energy even. And that's another one. Come with me back just for 2 seconds because I didn't talk about the fatigue. Now, when you're going through a healing event, of course you're going to get fatigued. You're going to have maybe 2 days of amazing energy, then 1 week on the sofa again. Because the body goes through cycles. It goes through layers. So you're feeling better, and then you're not. And then you're feeling a little better again, and then you're not. But you're going upward. You're moving in sequence like that. You're still going that way. It's not just a straight line, okay? It goes up and down, up and down. Why? Because the body will take care of everything that it has gotten to, depending how deep it's digging. And it's using its energy doing that. And hence, not giving you a lot of energy to spend running around shopping or gardening. So you calm down, you let the body do its job, then it's done with that sequence and you feel amazing and you feel more energy and you're feeling, oh, I got it, I feel better now. Then bam, the body goes into another layer, just withdrawing that energy for itself, so that it can use it where it feels it's more important. So don't despair if your energy level goes up and down during this process. It's very, very natural. Okay, back to the healing, to the retracing. So what the body does is it goes back. It goes backwards to everything, through everything that you ever experienced. So way into your healing event or way on your healing journey, all of a sudden, boom, your ankles start hurting. Maybe you have 2 days you can't even walk on it because it hurts so much. And then you remember, oh my God, I broke my ankle when I was 4. And the body goes back to mend and make it perfect. And even if you've had a lot of, say, UTIs or lung infections, pneumonias, and you've been taking antibiotics, so you've been suppressing those bacteria and suppressing the body's ability to carry out that waste, taking drugs that was anti-mucus forming. Then once you start healing, the body's going to come back and start doing that, carrying out that waste. It's going to go back saying, oh, hey, we left something here. We never got to this. Now you might think you got the same thing back again, saying, Hilde, why am I now getting a UTI? I haven't had them for 7 years. And I'm like, well, did you used to have them before, 7 years ago? And they're like, yeah, I had many. I took so many rounds of antibiotics. I'm just like, there you go. It's just coming back to heal. And then, true enough, 2 days later, everything's gone. Of course, no medications, no nothing, because it's not the same thing coming back. This is just a cleaning job. So it lasts shorter. It is not as severe most often. And then after, you'll never hear from it again. It's like, now it's healing, because healing is healing. Suppressing a symptom is different. We're talking about healing here. Healing the body, letting the body heal naturally and fully. True healing and regeneration. So, now, when we get to those old things, we're strengthening and revisiting and regenerating from our early childhood until now. So we're walking backwards and then walking forwards through our whole history. Now, how amazing is that? And it happens also emotionally. So this is something to watch out, because when you go through something that's very emotional on a detoxification path like this, then the feelings you get up can easily be resembled with feelings today, or to rather say it could easily be related to a situation happening today. So that's where you'll notice is that you will react to something, and then stepping back, you'll see that you reacted in a much larger capacity than the situation would call for, okay? So it's like an exaggeration, because the trigger was not really, or the trigger was the situation, but it was much deeper than that. You were releasing something that was much deeper, that was like amplified through everything that you've experienced, that was triggering the same type of feeling. Okay, does that make sense? So that's what to look out for with the emotional detoxification. So I hope this helped. I know I talk a lot. I think this is so important. It's so important that we all know this. So remember that detoxification, the healing crisis, 𝐂𝐷𝐿𝐼's effect, and the retracing are all part of healing. It is natural, because taking out the waste for a body that is holding on to it, you will feel it. That's why we're holding on to it. If we weren't, then the body wouldn't be we wouldn't have these symptoms. So take care of your eliminative organs. And the thing to do is always, first, stop what's hurting you. Do no harm to this beautiful body. And then when it starts responding, when it starts cleansing, cleaning, doing what's best for you, creating amazing health, then thank it and love it. And never for a second think that your body is not on your team. You are the closest team there could ever be. That's something you can never separate yourself from. So if you have any thoughts at all that is going against your body, and that's not empowering that team, that is where we need to start, to revisit that, to sit down and agree with yourself. First of all, I am not going to hurt you anymore, because now I know better and I can do better. Number two, I'm always going to trust you, and we're always going to be best friends. and know that no symptom that the body is showing you is anything but it's trying to send you a message. It is just a language. So no judgment. Okay, I'm going to let you go and have some fun in this sunshine, in this beautiful nature. There's a lot of rocks that I'm standing on, so that's why I'm a little shaky here. So look at this. All right. So please like this video, put a like if you like it, and subscribe to my channel. Put a comment below, always. And come like my Facebook page, Inspired by Hilde. I'd love to see you there. Okay, so namaste.